Let me ask you something. A question to ponder as we begin this journey together. What do you get when you take the echoes of Revolutionary War legends, the vibrant energy of post-war building booms that reshaped a landscape, the quiet allure of million-dollar homes nestled along tranquil canals, and you mix it all with salt air so crisp, so invigorating, it feels like your lungs are sighing a heartfelt thank you with every breath? You get Point Pleasant Borough, a town with a name that, at first glance, might seem simple, almost understated. But it's a name that perfectly, beautifully captures its very essence. It is undeniably pleasant. But don't let that calm, inviting name fool you for a second. Beneath that serene surface, this place is absolutely humming with history, brimming with personality, and yes, even a fair share of real estate drama to keep things interesting. Today, we're embarking on a captivating journey through one of the Jersey Shore's most cherished, most treasured boroughs. We'll trace its story from its deep colonial roots, when this land was wild and untamed, to its present-day allure, characterized by stunning waterfront mansions that command breathtaking views. We'll wander past charming bungalows that whisper tales of simpler times and explore luxury condos that offer a taste of modern coastal living at its finest. Point Pleasant Borough, you see, is that rare, delightful place where old-school charm doesn't just coexist with a modern-day lifestyle, it dances with it. So, whether you're actively house hunting, perhaps searching for that perfect spot to call home, whether you're a history enthusiast, eager to uncover the stories etched into the very fabric of this town, or maybe you're just here to daydream a little, to escape into visions of waterside living, buckle up. You're in for quite a ride. Let's rewind the clock, not just a few years or even a few decades. Let's go way back, centuries back. Before the familiar hum of highways, before the sturdy docks reached out into the water, before the first waterfront homes were even a dream in a builder's eye, this land was an integral part of the Lenape Nation. They were the original stewards, the first people to know its secrets. And they had a name for it, a name that resonates with the very character of the land. Manahawkin, often interpreted as the land of tall timber. This wasn't just some poetic turn of phrase, it was a literal description. Imagine dense, majestic groves of cedar and oak standing sentinel along the winding creeks and wide rivers, their branches reaching towards the sky. Picture a land teeming with wildlife, a rich ecosystem thriving in its natural balance. For the Lenape, this was more than just a place to live. It was spiritual ground, sacred territory, deeply respected and revered. Then, as history unfolded, came the European settlers. They were drawn, as many were, by the abundant natural resources, the timber, the fertile land, the promise of fish and game. They were drawn by the life-giving fresh water and the allure of open space, a canvas upon which to build new lives. By the 1700s, this area, what would eventually become Point Pleasant, was a quiet, somewhat marshy outpost. Small perhaps, but its strategic location and resources made it undeniably useful. So useful, in fact, that by 1778, during the turbulence of the Revolutionary War, even the British paid a visit. Their purpose? To torch the local Saltworks, a vital resource for preserving food for the Continental Army, a small but significant scar of war left on this coastal land. Now let's fast forward into the 1800s. The nation is healing, growing, and a Civil War veteran named Roderick Clark, a man with vision and determination, settles along the picturesque banks of the Manahawkin River. Captain Clark doesn't just build boats, though he was skilled at that. No, he builds something more intangible, more lasting. He builds experiences. Clark's Landing, his endeavor, soon becomes the go-to riverfront escape. Imagine families from the bustling, often sweltering cities like Philadelphia and New York seeking respite. They'd arrive perhaps by steamboat, looking for cool breezes, leisurely boat rides, picnics by the water, and a taste of tranquil riverside life. Clark's Landing offered all of that, and in doing so, it planted the seeds for Point Pleasant's future as a haven for relaxation and recreation. It was the first whisper of the tourism that would come to define so much of this region. Thinking of selling your Point Pleasant gem? At Prodigy Real Estate, we're not just listing homes. We're stealing the spotlight with our jaw-dropping digital video marketing platform, racking up millions of views every month across our worldwide channels. Your home won't just shine locally, it'll dazzle buyers from the Jersey Shore to Japan. Wondering what your home's worth or itching to snag a slice of this sizzling Jersey Shore scene? We've got the keys to make it happen. All right, buckle up. Let's dive back into the tour. Then came a sound that would change everything: the whistle of a locomotive. In 1880, the railroad pulled into Point Pleasant. You can almost feel the jolt of energy it delivered, like a shot of espresso straight into the local economy. Suddenly, Point Pleasant wasn't just a well-kept secret for locals or those intrepid enough to make the journey by boat or stagecoach. With the arrival of the Iron Horse, it was quite literally on the map, accessible like never before. Day trippers, vacationers, potential new residents. The railroad brought them all, and with them, new opportunities and a quickening pace of life. As the 20th century dawned, and the town grew in population and confidence, the locals were ready to call their own shots. They envisioned a future shaped by their own hands. So in 1920, a pivotal decision was made. The residents voted to break away from the larger brick township and officially formed the borough of Point Pleasant. This wasn't just a line drawn on a map, it was a declaration of identity. That independence granted them crucial control over their own destiny. Control over zoning laws that would shape the look and feel of their streets, control over the establishment and administration of their schools, and control over the path of future development. It was a decision born of local pride and foresight, a decision whose consequences would ripple through the decades, shaping everything that followed: every street, every park, every neighborhood. And then, just 5 short years later, in 1925, came one of the most defining events in the borough's physical and even psychological identity: the completion of the Point Pleasant Canal. This wasn't just a ditch, it was an ambitious feat of engineering, a man-made artery designed to connect the tidal Manahawkin River directly to the vast expanse of Barnegat Bay. In doing so, it literally geographically split the town in two, creating a new dynamic, new possibilities. More than that, it birthed a new kind of landscape. A town of lagoons and intricate, finger-like inlets was born. Suddenly, waterfront property wasn't just along the river or the ocean. It was woven into the very fabric of the community. The canal didn't just change the flow of water, it changed the flow of life, paving the way for the unique waterside communities that are so characteristic of Point Pleasant Borough today. The conclusion of World War II ushered in an era of unprecedented change across America, and Point Pleasant Borough was right in the thick of it. The nation was optimistic, soldiers were returning home, families were growing, and the suburban dream was taking hold. The borough's population, which had been just over 2,000 souls in 1940, didn't just grow, it exploded. By 1970, that number had skyrocketed to nearly 16,000 residents. That's an almost 8-fold increase in just 3 decades. Imagine the transformation. Vast tracts of what was once quiet farmland, perhaps dotted with a few old homesteads, were suddenly buzzing with activity. Entire neighborhoods seemed to spring up almost overnight, carved from the earth with a kind of restless energy. The sounds of hammers, saws, and construction crews filled the air. Cape Cods, with their charming dormers and cozy appeal, became a common sight. Ranches offering easy one-story living spread across newly laid-out lots, and bungalows with their inviting porches were built at record speed to meet the surging demand. Drive through many parts of Point Pleasant Borough today, and you can still clearly see and feel that distinctive 1950s and 60s identity. It's in the wide, well-kept lawns, often shaded by mature maple trees that were planted by those first post-war families. It's in the flagpoles proudly displaying the stars and stripes out front, a symbol of that era's patriotism. Back then, these homes were considered modest, affordable options for young families starting out. Now, well, times have changed. Many of these original houses have been lovingly remodeled, thoughtfully expanded, often unrecognizable from their simpler origins, and are frequently worth double, triple, or even more than their original value. They stand as a testament to both the enduring appeal of the borough and the changing tides of the real estate market. In any town that prides itself on being family-friendly, the quality of its schools is paramount. And in Point Pleasant Borough, the public school system isn't just a set of buildings. It's a key, vibrant part of the community's very DNA. You'll hear residents speak with pride about their local schools. Nellie F. Bennett Elementary and Ocean Road Elementary, where the educational journey begins for the town's youngest learners. Then there's Memorial Middle School, guiding students through those crucial transitional years. And of course, Point Pleasant Borough High School, the home of the Panthers, where teenagers prepare for their futures, whether that's college, a trade, or entering the workforce. Go Panthers! With a student population of around 2,800 across the entire district, Point Pleasant Borough seems to have found a sweet spot. It's big enough to offer a wide array of excellent programs: strong academics, competitive athletics, thriving arts and music departments. Yet it remains small enough to foster a genuine sense of personal attention, where teachers know their students and students feel seen and supported. This environment isn't just about test scores and graduation rates, though those are certainly important. It's about community building from the ground up. It's the Friday night football games under the lights, the school plays that bring families together, the bake sales and PTA meetings where parents connect. The schools are a hub, a place where friendships are forged not just among students, but among families, weaving a tighter, more connected community fabric. Point Pleasant Borough is a mosaic of distinct neighborhoods, each with its own unique character and charm. Let's take a stroll through a few of them. First up, we have Lovelandtown. This isn't just a name, it's a piece of living history, recognized as Point Pleasant's oldest settled section. As you wander its quiet, tree-lined streets, you get a palpable sense of the past. The homes here are timeless, many with historical details lovingly preserved, exuding an air of quiet dignity. It's a neighborhood that encourages walking, with local shops and parks often just a leisurely stroll away, fostering a close-knit, traditional community feel. Then prepare to be enchanted by Bayhead shores. If waterfront perfection is what you seek, this neighborhood delivers in spades. Imagine waking up to lagoon access right from your backyard, your boat gently bobbing in its slip. Many homes here are designed to maximize those water views. Bayhead Shores also boasts a community clubhouse, a hub for social gatherings and recreation, further enhancing that feeling of belonging. And the sunsets? They are the kind of spectacular, soul-stirring displays of color that you remember for a lifetime, painted across the western sky over the water. Journey next to Sunshine Harbor. The name itself evokes a feeling of brightness and exclusivity. This area, particularly affected by Hurricane Sandy, has seen a remarkable transformation. Homes here were largely rebuilt, often elevated to new standards, and now sparkle like brand new construction. They line wide, inviting canals, offering elegant designs and modern amenities. It's a testament to resilience and a commitment to high-quality coastal living. For a taste of true luxury, explore Laguna Village. Here, modern coastal mansions are tucked away along streets with names that evoke the charm of the European Riviera. Like Lido and Riviera Drive, these are often grand homes showcasing sophisticated architecture, high-end finishes, and all the trappings of upscale waterside life. This is Point Pleasant's answer to opulent coastal living, where design and location converge. And finally, let's consider an area often affectionately dubbed West Point Village by locals, though you might not find that name on an official map. This is classic Americana. Picture those mid-century charming homes we talked about earlier, the Cape Cods and ranches, nestled on generous lots. It's a neighborhood of community parks where children play, where neighbors chat over fences, and where the comforting smell of backyard barbecues often drifts through the air on a summer evening. It's the heart of suburban comfort within this coastal town. Each neighborhood contributes its own unique thread to the rich tapestry that is Point Pleasant Borough. Point Pleasant Borough was, in many ways, built on water, not just geographically with its canals and riverfront, but economically as well. The water has always been its lifeblood, its main attraction. Remember Clark's Landing? That was the genesis, bringing the first wave of tourists and seasonal visitors, establishing the area as a desirable destination. Then came the canal, a game changer that didn't just create new waterfront lots. It opened up new avenues for commerce, for boat building and marine services, for developers with visions of waterside communities. And then, as we saw, post-World War II America brought the residential boom, fueling construction, local businesses, and a growing year-round economy. The decades that followed saw continued evolution. The 1980s brought a period of reinvestment, particularly in the downtown area. Facades were improved, new businesses were encouraged, and efforts were made to enhance the borough's commercial heart. The 2000s ushered in an era of lifestyle upgrades. People weren't just looking for a place to live, they were looking for a certain quality of life. This meant improvements to marinas, a wider variety of dining options, boutique shopping, and enhanced recreational facilities. And then came Hurricane Sandy in 2012, a storm that tested the resolve of the entire Jersey Shore. Point Pleasant Borough felt its impact deeply. But what followed was a remarkable story of rebuilding, and not just recovery, but true renewal. The community rallied. Homes were rebuilt, yes, but they were often rebuilt better, stronger, and more resilient, adhering to new, stricter building codes designed to withstand future storms. This period of intense rebuilding also, somewhat paradoxically, led to an increase in property values in many of the waterfront areas, as new and improved homes replaced older, damaged ones. Sandy left scars, but it also forged an even stronger community spirit and a determination to build back with an eye toward the future. The real estate market in Point Pleasant Borough tells a compelling story of desirability and growth. If we look back to the early 2000s, the median home price in the borough hovered somewhere around the $250,000 mark. A significant investment, certainly, but perhaps more accessible to a wider range of buyers. Now, fast forward 2 decades. Today, that median home price has soared, now often exceeding $700,000. And in many segments of the market, it's still rising and rising fast. So what's fueling this dramatic ascent? The answer is a powerful trifecta: location, lifestyle, and unrelenting demand. Let's break that down. Location. Point Pleasant Borough offers a prime coastal position with access to beautiful beaches, the Manahawkin River, and Barnegat Bay. It's also within a reasonable distance for commuters or weekenders from major metropolitan areas like New York City and Philadelphia. Lifestyle. This is where the borough truly shines. It offers a unique blend, the allure of waterside living. Whether that means boating, fishing, kayaking, or simply enjoying the views. It's a family-friendly atmosphere with good schools and a strong sense of community. It offers both relaxation and recreation. Demand. More and more people are discovering what Point Pleasant has to offer. This includes families looking for a great place to raise children, retirees seeking a pleasant coastal community, and second home buyers wanting that perfect weekend escape. Buyers are fundamentally, powerfully drawn to the water. And whether they're looking for a seasonal getaway or a place to put down permanent roots, Point Pleasant Borough offers a combination that many other towns simply can't match. It has that old-school charm, that sense of history and community, yet it's coupled with modern convenience. It offers access to luxury, but it does so with a genuine soul, a welcoming spirit that makes it feel like home. If your search in Point Pleasant Borough is specifically for luxury, there are certainly some standout areas and developments to explore. We've touched on neighborhoods like Bayhead Shores and Sunshine Harbor, where stunning canal-front homes are the norm. These aren't just houses, they're often statements. Think private docks ready for your boat, beautifully landscaped properties with inviting in-ground pools perfect for summer days, and gourmet chef's kitchens designed for both serious cooking and elegant entertaining. These homes often feature high-end finishes, expansive decks and patios for outdoor living, and smart home technology, all designed to maximize comfort and the enjoyment of that coveted waterfront lifestyle. But perhaps your vision of luxury leans more towards low-maintenance living, where you can enjoy all the amenities without the upkeep of a large detached home. If that's the case, then welcome to Water's Edge. This is widely regarded as the borough's premier luxury condominium complex. Picture this, waking up to panoramic riverfront views, perhaps enjoying your morning coffee on a spacious, private balcony as boats glide by. Water's Edge offers precisely that. Residents here enjoy access to a beautiful pool area, a well-equipped fitness center, and meticulously maintained grounds. And perhaps one of the biggest luxuries of all? No lawnmower in sight, no gutters to clean, no exterior painting to worry about. Water's Edge is designed for an elegant, effortless lifestyle, allowing residents to focus on enjoying their surroundings and the community, rather than on home maintenance. It's sophisticated coastal living, simplified. The homes throughout Point Pleasant Borough are like a visual timeline, reflecting its evolution from a quiet outpost to a sought-after coastal destination. Each era has left its architectural mark. You can find charming bungalows, many dating back to the 1920s and 30s, with their characteristic cozy layouts, inviting front porches, and often craftsman-style details. These homes speak of a simpler time, built with practicality and a certain understated appeal. Then come the ranches, a hallmark of the 1950s post-war boom. Their single-story design, often with an open flowing feel, catered to young families and offered easy, accessible living. The 1960s introduced more split levels, with their unique multi-level layouts providing distinct living zones, which proved popular for growing families needing more space and separation. And today, particularly in the waterfront zones and areas that saw significant rebuilding after Sandy, you'll see magnificent modern shore colonials rising up. These contemporary homes are often characterized by their grand scale, multiple balconies to capture those water views, expansive walls of windows to flood interiors with light, and elevated construction to meet modern resiliency standards. They are designed for today's lifestyle, blending traditional colonial forms with modern amenities and coastal flair. Beyond these general trends, Point Pleasant also showcases a wonderful variety of individual expression in its architecture. Some homes are impressive custom builds, where architects and owners have collaborated to create unique living spaces, perhaps with dramatic glass walls that blur the line between indoors and out, striking spiral staircases, or even rooftop decks offering panoramic vistas of the water and the town. On the other hand, you'll also find countless examples of lovingly preserved classics. Older homes where owners have painstakingly maintained original hardwood floors, period fixtures, and the inherent character of the structure. Whether it's a historic gem or a modern marvel, there truly is something in Point Pleasant Borough for almost every taste. Life here in Point Pleasant Borough tends to move at what you might call a coastal pace. There's a certain relaxed rhythm to the days, influenced by the tides and the seasons. But don't mistake that relaxed pace for dullness. Far from it. This is a community with a vibrant pulse. Imagine being able to dine out with friends or family right on the river, the lights twinkling on the water as you enjoy a delicious meal. Or picture starting your day with a leisurely bike ride to a local bakery, the scent of freshly baked bread and pastries welcoming you in. For the more active, Riverfront Park offers a perfect spot to launch your kayak or paddleboard and explore the waterways at your own pace. And when it comes to food, the choices are plentiful. You might grab some renowned fresh seafood at a local favorite like Spano's, known for its classic Italian-American seafood dishes and lively atmosphere. Or perhaps you prefer to simply sip a coffee at a waterside cafe, watching the sailboats drift lazily by, letting the gentle breeze carry your worries away. Point Pleasant Borough also has a rich calendar of local events that bring the community together throughout the year. There are spirited parades that march down the main streets, lively concerts in the park on warm summer evenings, spectacular fireworks displays that light up the night sky over the water. And one event that truly captures the unique charm of this town is Christmas on the Canal. Imagine boats adorned with twinkling lights and festive decorations, gliding through the waterways, creating a magical holiday spectacle. It's a scene that feels like it's straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting, but with a distinctive Jersey Shore twist. It's this blend of Rockwellian Americana and coastal living that defines the character of Point Pleasant all year long. So as our journey through Point Pleasant Borough draws to a close, we return to that initial thought. What is it truly that makes this place so special? What makes Point Pleasant so genuinely pleasant? Perhaps it's the remarkable balance it strikes, that delicate, beautiful equilibrium between its rich past and its dynamic present, between its enduring old-world charm and its embrace of necessary change and modern living. It's a place that respects its history without being trapped by it. Maybe it's the everyday sights and sounds that define its unique character. It's a town where boats glide gracefully past backyards, becoming an extension of daily life for so many. It's where neighbors still wave from their porches, a simple gesture that speaks volumes about the sense of community here. It's where families come to grow roots that often deepen and last for generations, creating a tapestry of shared memories and experiences. There's an intangible quality to Point Pleasant Borough, a certain magnetic pull. And whether you're just a weekend visitor, soaking in the coastal atmosphere for a few days, whether you're a hopeful buyer, dreaming of finding your own slice of this idyllic lifestyle, or whether you are one of the fortunate ones, lucky enough to already call this place home, Point Pleasant Borough doesn't just welcome you with open arms, it keeps you. It captures a piece of your heart, invites you to become part of its ongoing story. Thanks for joining us for this glimpse into a town that truly, deeply lives up to its name. Point Pleasant, pleasant by name, unforgettable by nature.